Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Father's Day. Tonight we begin with a new diplomatic push aimed at cooling tensions with China. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Beijing Sunday for 2 days of high-stakes talks. It's the first U.S. diplomatic mission there in 5 years. CBS's Margaret Brennan is traveling with the secretary in Beijing and leads us off tonight.
Jurika, after more than 5.5 hours of intense and very direct talks between Secretary Blinken and his Chinese counterpart, there was at least one point of agreement: try to stop the downward spiral in this relationship before the two countries veer into conflict. Secretary Blinken and Foreign Minister Qin Gang, a close ally of President Xi Jinping, tackled a long list of grievances. The U.S. goal? Open communication channels to avoid a military clash. Tensions spiked last summer when then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan. And again in February after the spy balloon shoot-down. China's defense chief refuses to speak with U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin at a time when Beijing is massively expanding its nuclear arsenal. Miscommunication risks a clash. Last month, a Chinese warship came within 150 feet of slamming into an American ship transiting the Taiwan Strait. And in the South China Sea, a Chinese fighter jet buzzed the U.S. Air Force. The divide runs deeper than a failure to communicate. Blinken also pressed authorities to crack down on the flow of fentanyl. That drug is now the #1 killer of Americans under the age of 50. After months of giving the U.S. the cold shoulder, this opening from Beijing may signal an interest in reducing friction, at least on the financial front. The U.S. and Chinese economies are so intertwined. On Monday, Secretary Blinken will meet with a top party official who oversees foreign policy, and if all goes well, he may get a face-to-face with President Xi Jinping. Jurika?
Yeah, so many issues to address. Margaret Brennan in Beijing, thank you.